Now, France will be marking a poignant anniversary this weekend, the anniversary of the terror attacks that claimed the lives of 130 people across Paris. But life goes on. The Bataclan concert hall, where at least 90 people were killed, is reopening its doors. And the bars and restaurants where diners were gunned down are now trading once more. And yet deep scars remain, as Chris Moore, Karim Hakiki and Sylvain Rousseau report.
Parisian Jean-Luc has got used to taking his first aid kit with him wherever he goes.
For the first 6 months, I took it everywhere. I couldn't leave home without it. I thought this could happen all over again at any moment.
Jean-Luc was watching TV with his 15-year-old daughter when the tragedy of November the 13th, 2015 unfolded right outside his home.
Through the window, I saw a black Seat pull up. There was a guy shooting continuous bursts on the people sitting outside the cafe. Another man shot at approaching vehicles. I can remember every round they fired. They killed all those people right outside my house.
Immediately, Jean-Luc ran outside to help the wounded.
Next to me, somebody was wounded in the abdomen. It was completely torn apart. But I had nothing on me, just a few swabs. So I took off my t-shirt and I stuffed it into the wound to try and stop the bleeding, to try and stop the life slipping away.
Scenes Jean-Luc's replayed in his head 1,000 times.
Everything I saw remains etched in my memory. And one day I know I'm just going to crack. Perhaps not for quite a long time. Post-trauma symptoms can take a long time to show. People who see things like that just want to forget. But we can't forget. The only people we can talk to about it are fellow witnesses.
Jean-Luc's one of 3,000 victims directly or indirectly affected by the Paris attacks. Professor Millet treats patients suffering from post-traumatic stress.
It's a syndrome which sees the event coming back to life, whether it be in nightmares or sleep problems. Victims try to dissociate from the moment of trauma and from their past lives.
When it comes to treatment, each patient has their own specific needs.
We use psychotherapy to try and progressively distance people from traumatic memories, to try and ease the emotional burden.
Georges Salines stopped seeing psychologists and decided to write a book, a way of purging his demons after the death of his daughter Lola at the Bataclan concert hall.
It took us 18 hours to find out what had happened. It wasn't until the afternoon of the 14th that we finally learned she'd been killed.
1 year on, Georges is one of many parents and relatives still trying to cope with the loss.
I'm past the critical part, where the pain is unbearable. Now, I'm where I think I'll be for the rest of my life. Knowing that the loss will be there, that every day something will be missing. But knowing that you have to live with it.
French society too continues to live with the ghosts of the 13th of November. A year after the attacks, 20 survivors remain in hospital. 600 are receiving psychological support. But for doctor and Charlie Hebdo contributor Patrick Pellu, this is a public health problem that goes much deeper.
It goes beyond individuals and becomes a broader health issue. If you put together all the victims and all those who have close or distant links to the attacks, then you're looking at millions of people. We're facing a problem which stretches a long way.
Dr. Pellu says public remembrance ceremonies are essential, a way for the country to help survivors heal.
It's really important to have speeches and commemorations attended by the president, by politicians, and by the victims' associations. We have to live with what happened, but we can't forget. So these events are a time to remember together, and I think that helps people rebuild.
And helping people rebuild is the idea behind the Victims Fund launched by the French government. So far, 2,800 people have applied.